All right, folks. Howdy. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. Hey, welcome to the live show. Tuesday night. Today is the 26th of February. Just like that, tick tock, time is going by. We are going into the third month of 2019, and I hope you're preparing for spring. You should be planting right about now indoors. So let me get my chat up here, see who's inside the room, give a quick hello, and then we'll talk about what's going on. Matter of fact, I'm going to open up a different window with a regular chat window. I'll do that over here. YouTube. Hush. Hush. It's enough. All right. My channel. My channel. Live show. Gives me a better view because that live channel, that live section with the chat, the window that you view of yourself and the chat window is all the way down here. So this way it could be side by side and see what everybody's talking about here. So Chip Signals here. Welcome, my friend. C. Dean. Welcome. Dreyfus. Doc Ferris. Hello, hello. Hey, Doc. You need to go see my video, A Letter to My Former Self, and you need to watch it all the way to the end, because I believe I challenged you in that video and have not heard back from you. Stivers Homestead, hey, welcome. I don't think we've had the chance to meet. Welcome here. I hope you enjoy what you see and what we're going to talk about today. Judy Bone, yee y'all, hey y'all. I read that backwards. And then Full Spectrum Survival's here. Hey, Brad, I don't know what's going on, but apparently YouTube has fully cut out your Hangouts there, so we got to figure out what we're going to do in the future. But they're still adding those blocks, and they're still building the new Creator Studio page. It's going to be definitely interesting. Doc Ferris says, nope, I ain't doing it. So if you didn't know, I challenged Doc Ferris to do the letter to my younger self, younger homesteader, younger farmer, and I challenged him to do it. So we'll see about that. He says no now, but maybe we can get him to change his mind. But so what's going on? What's happening? I do have notes, and when I say notes, I had little sticky notes, nothing great. And went through with my wife. Megan's had a long day. She's gonna be out tonight. She's in the other room, but she's had some issues she's dealing with. She had a flare up with her skin condition, and so she's having some issues today. And it's just been an all about crappy day. And I'm gonna ask you guys now, send good thoughts our way, because you're gonna take my microphone back, dog. Send good thoughts our way. In the past week, last week, one of Megan's friends found out she's got cancer, and so good thoughts for that, and good prayers for that. Whatever you do, just do it. And then a good friend of mine found out his 4-year-old daughter has lymphoma today. Leukemia. I'm sorry, leukemia. The other one has lymphoma. This one has leukemia. 4-year-old little girl, and it doesn't. My heart breaks for him because our kids are the same age. Just about the same age. So let's talk about what's happened on the homestead so far. Let me see what I got here as far as this goes. We pull up a picture, display image, and view. Here we go. Oh, the picture's sideways, but I hope you can see that there. I cannot rotate it. It just popped up sideways, even though the picture was supposed to be upright. If you guys didn't know, we have this dog. Her name is Maori, after the town Maori. It's off of the Amalfi Coast in Italy. It's a nice little town my wife used to drive through when we were on the coast and when we were stationed in Italy. But May is going on 2 months now at the house, and that's her, and this is her now. Come here, May. Look at the size of this dog. Look how much she has grown since that picture. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah. You say hi to all the people. Hello. May is getting very big, and she is all puppy. Yes, you are all puppy. Yeah. And she's learning her boundaries. She's learning to get uh, potty trained, and she's getting crate trained as well. So she's coming right along, and she's working out just fine. And she's starting to play a little rough with LB because LB's like half her size now compared to her size when that picture was taken just about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And yeah, she's doing real good. She's a good dog. And come here, Elps. Of course, the Albers says hello. Can you say hi? Yeah. Say hello, peoples. Hello. She needs a haircut bad. So that's what's going on with Miss May. I call her Miss May. Megan calls her May May. May May. And they need to stop fighting. I mean, they're just roughhousing a little too hard, that's all. But what else is going on? Notary Public. Hey, so one thing you should always be doing is continuing to learn, continuing to broaden your horizons as an adult. Because if you stop learning, you stop getting interested in things and continuously learning whatnot. And one thing I wanted to do for years and decided, hey, I should do this is get a notary. So I paid for the course. Hey, stop. Went to the course and passed the exam. Did a good job. Submitted all the paperwork, and I'm waiting to hear back from the Secretary of the State on my swear-in or oath of office for this position as a notary, and it's a public service. And people have come up and asked me, said, "Hey, you're going to be a notary. How much are you going to charge?" Legally, by law, they can only charge you $5 per signature. However, since it is a public service, I'm not going to charge anybody anything. This is something I wanted to do, something I want to learn about and become a part of. And when people come up to me and ask for a notary, I'm doing them a public service. There's no need to make it a profit organization like so many people do. But I did get my notary, and I will be getting sworn in probably in the next couple weeks. So that's cool. And I won't sign your stuff or stamp it because it just has to be in North Carolina. If you're in North Carolina, you can come visit. I'll take care of you. What else is going on? Oh, something happened on Sunday that hasn't happened in weeks. The sun came out. The sun came out, folks, and it got warm quick. It went from nasty 30s, rainy 30s, to freaking 70 degrees. Bam. Past 3 days, that thing has been out, rotating around the earth. I don't know where it was before. It was on vacation or something. But it is here, and it might rain a little bit tomorrow, but other than that, it should be out for the rest of the week after that. So let it dry up, let it dry up, let it dry up. We've had a record amount of rain. There's no other time frame recorded history, North Carolina, state of North Carolina, about the amount of rain North Carolina has had ever before. And it's going crazy. So Chip Signal says it got cold in Florida. See, Dean was happy about the sun coming out. Yep, she is a cutie. She's going to be a big dog. She's half golden retriever and half Labrador retriever. So she's going to be a big dog. Which is not bad. We like large animals, but not too large. Judy says, cuteness. Not showing my face here. It's because it's stuck behind the old picture here. So what else is going on? If I got any more pictures here. Oh, that goes on to the next segment. What else happened? I'm going to take the pictures down. Slideshow. Bam. Something happened this week. Our quail are starting to lay eggs. You see that there? Here's a big one. Look at this guy right here. That's a large egg. a little smaller one. But so far, we are getting at least one egg a day. They've been laying for a few days now, and we're excited. I also got these little scissors, little quail egg scissors. You just snap, snap. You put the top on like that, and you smash it down, and it'll nip the tip off the top, so you can just pour it out. Because quail eggs are actually, they're layered eggs, and they're very thick. So that happened this week. We're super excited about that. Quail usually start laying eggs between 6 and 9 weeks of age, and so they're aging out, and they're finally starting to lay eggs. What else is going on? Our rabbits. So we have 7 female rabbits. We got 4 male rabbits, and the female rabbits are starting to age out. They're not age out, but they're starting to get to a mature sexual age. That is 4 months. 4 months is probably time to start breeding your animals. Your rabbits for females. Unfortunately, for males, it's 6 months, so we still have 2 months before we can start using them as breeders. But they've been practicing, and trust me, they aren't that bright. And so they've been doubled up in cages. Now is the time. You can have a male and a female in a cage when they're young, when they're siblings, whatnot. So right now, when the female comes into sexual maturity, it's the time to separate those rabbits, and the rabbits really need a place of their own, a cage of their own. So we pulled out some cages, and we have some old, not pet shop, but veterinarian cages from an old vet that retired and gave up all his stuff. And so we've got 8 cages total that are old medical cages, and we're retrofitting those to give each rabbit a home. So the total of rabbits is 11 rabbits total. So we need 11 separate cages. Right now they're doubled up in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cages, and there's one by himself. But now we're starting to separate because they're starting to fight, and we don't want that at all. So rabbits out of the way. Tire tread. We did a video, Megan and I did, last weekend about changing a tire on a truck, and also fixing a puncture on the bottom tread of it. And I'm going to flip over here real quick. And so what I did, we made this video. It was a long video. It was like 50 minutes or something like that. I can't remember what the total length of the video was. But we got past the puncture. We were to the point to where we were putting the tire back on the truck. And we ran out of video card. And it was cold. It was nasty. So I decided for the rest of the video, ice cream sandwich wrapper. So for the rest of the video, I just reversed the video from the beginning of the video to make it look like we were doing the actual steps to put everything back. And so I'm going to play the end of that video so you guys can see it. Even if you haven't seen it, go watch the whole thing. It is hilarious. So I'm going to move over and see what we can find here. Display capture. I'm going to pull up that video. And so right here we're at the point of the intro of the video, but at the very end. And like I said, it's playing backwards, and I thought you guys would get a kick out of it. So I'll play that now. Yep. Zelf raast ik doe bij al wat zo'n schak hadden we shit de wat in raast de eerste de laatste wapen maar nog wat tussen nog iets we is de huis op nee je nog niet maar niet de beste wat is dan raast niet we sta waar je stuurt dan nog je was maar we skip service nee maar we skip de storm mee hey ja, is niet slecht hier nog opgenomen. Het loopt niet. Nu doe ik het van laten. Hier else, ik just the Carstream millionaire whenever. Carstream a millionaire whenever. Carstream again, but if I see this
Girl, that blow, you love this in there. I was scared.
Mas não, ela aí tá.
Well, you know. For no
För du...
yeah.
I'm gonna...
That's my hair girl stuff here. Just to get that. Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty funny. I thought I'd enjoy sharing that with you guys. If you haven't seen the video, it's freaking hilarious. It is long, and if you get bored with it, I say just skip towards the end where it starts going backwards, and it's really funny. And I edited out of the beginning of the video the F-bomb that Megan dropped, but I tell you, if you go to the end of the video and listen to it backwards, you'll hear that F-bomb. It's hilarious. What else is going on? Of course, we got aircraft flying around right now, shaking the entire house. So we are considering meat birds. Yeah, airplane. We are considering meat birds this year. Megan said, "Hey, why don't you guys do meat birds?" I'm like, I don't know if we're set up for that yet. We have the space, we got the time, we got the energy to do it. But I was looking into, what we can do for meat birds. Meat birds are a good thing. It's not an issue. You can go organic. You do whatever you want. But I would say the real problem is the ending. So Cornish cross hens. That's what you get for meat birds. That's the standard these days. You go to a hatchery or get eggs and hatch them yourself, or you can just order them online from Tractor Supply. Tractor Supply comes out to about $1.28 a bird, but you have to buy 40 at a time. And so, can we do it? Yes, we can do it. We've been raising chickens now for over 6 years, and it's not an issue. The issue is the effort in the latter part of the chickens. That's butchering, defeathering, and packaging properly. And we can do all those things. We've done it before. It's a time-consuming thing, and so there's no way we'd be able to do all the steps of all the birds in one day with just 2 people without some automation. And so consider getting a feather plucker. That would cut half the time right there. The rest of the stuff is easy, but we need to get some kill cones. We need to get another table for washing and for separating and everything, and a plucker, and then we also have to have a poacher, which you dip the bird into hot water to loosen the feathers, throw them into the plucker, pull them out, cut the legs off, take the innards out, and then wash them, package them. But it's like I said, it's without the advances of technology, doing so many birds at one time is a very hard thing to do. Plus, we need to get a new freezer. So, we are considering chickens. Rotation on the quail. So, we have a quail cage that we have outside. It's actually the chicken cage I bought for $50 at Tractor Supply, which is actually a $190 chicken cage. But it was a leftover deal that I talked the guy down on and got it for $50. And so we're using that as the quail cage because it's the perfect space for 19 quail. And so every week we are moving it another square over to give them more space to roam. This is the 3rd week they've been out and about in the backyard. And so when we move it over, what I've been doing is casting red and white clover seeds in that area, and then washing it in real good to make sure they get soaked and everything like that. And with all the rain lately, they should start really be saturated and really start drying out to where they'll sprout. And what we want to do as it goes is to recast our entire backyard, which is mostly sand and a little bit of grass. And so we want to get that to where clover takes over. Get it? Because we got bees coming up soon. And Clover and bees, they're the perfect match. So, tires holding well on that truck. No issues with that. So that's a good video to watch. Notary. Mayor is getting huge. Quail eggs. Rabbit maturity. We planted seeds this last weekend. That's just inside the greenhouse that we have, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And then the sun came out. So we're happy about that. What's going on in the near future? Cages. This weekend I will be fixing those cages I told you about and getting them set up and ready. Because they are the veterinarian cages, they have a solid bottom. These cages need to have a tray that you can pull in and out on the inside. So I'm making wire bottoms, a false bottom, basically a wire bottom with trays coming out, and they have to be customized because the cages are 22 inches wide by 26 inches long, and I haven't found any trays or anything that can work with that, and so I'll be making those and getting those set up. Things that are coming up. Book review. I promised this last week. I haven't done it yet. It's been crazy out here. We're going to try to get this done. This is the Daisy Luther Prepper's Hurricane Survival Guide, and we are going to be doing a book review on this week, and then we will be giving this book away. We're going to give 2 copies away next Tuesday on our live show, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the subject of that show is going to be spring cleaning. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but my office is a mess. My room is a mess. The whole house is a mess. The rafters are covered in dust and cobwebs, and it is time to do a deep clean. And we are going to talk about how we're going to do that, the order you should clean, and then we're going to have a couple of demonstrations on how to make a more natural cleaning solution that you might find very pleasing and totally 100% natural. No toxic chemicals or anything like that. And I can't read the last one, and I wrote it myself, so we're just going to go back into the topic of the day. But before we do that, I'm going to check on the comments here. Yes, Driver's Homestead, welcome aboard. I'm just giving what I do normally is I'll give an update. My wife is normally here, but she's not today. We'll give an update on what's going on around the homestead, what we're doing in the next week before we see you guys again. And then we'll go into the main topic. Tonight's main topic, I'm going to bring up the video I just posted about spring. It was a completely silent video, and it was silent for a reason. That way I can come back on and I can narrate that video to tell you exactly what's going on, when and where. And there's some little things in there you might have noticed or might not have noticed. Common Man's here. I have not seen him here before. Welcome. Sub, welcome. Good to see you again. It's been a long time, actually. Christy Betts. Dreyfus is here. And putting the kids to bed. Good night, BreakAway Homesteader. Brad, good night. If you're still on, have a good one to you and your family. Full Spectrum Survival usually does the shows on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not sure if he's going to do one tomorrow, but that's his normal time. So keep an eye out for that tomorrow. So Judy Bond said she didn't get her book yet. Which book are you talking about? Did you? Okay, Judy, I need you to send me an email. It's breakawayhomesteader@gmail.com. And whatever book, I promise you, I will make sure you get it. And who else? If you didn't get the book, if you won the book and you didn't get the book, email me and I will make sure you get a copy of the book. I have the books here. They're not going anywhere. Electronic version, you'll get it in your email. So it's not hard for me. Just bam, send it off to you. So send me an email, Breakaway Homesteader, just my channel name here, at gmail.com. And so, with that being said, let's go ahead and get to tonight's topic. So, last week, The last video I posted was a video on spring and the beginning of spring. This is the first thing we are going to be doing in spring is getting ready to start planting. And so we started from the very beginning to where we crescented our greenhouse all the way to the point to where we placed the seed trays or seed pods onto the places where we are going to be planting. I can't speak tonight, apparently. Tongue twisters. Get a little drink here. Drink it, drink it. MBG said she'd like to have a cleaner that is natural. I hate all the chemicals. The stuff Megan uses and puts together involves the use of usually vinegar and some sort of concoction of natural essential oils and stuff like that. But we'll do that. We're going to do some demonstrations next week. We're not just going to show you, hey, this is the recipe, just try it out. No, we're actually going to do a real demonstration on the use of natural cleaners. So let me pull this over. I'm going to go ahead and flip up the display capture once again, and we're going to go over this video, and I'll be narrating it as it comes on. Let me make this a little bit smaller. You guys are looking at what I'm seeing right now. And I'm going to move over so we can see how everything is going here. Move over. Move over. Oh. So this is what I'm going to just move that. Move that. There's really not a whole lot of move in there. Alright. So I'm going to be looking this way anyway. Look at that. It's a kaleidoscope of Patrick's. Hi, Patrick. You gonna wave back to me? Hello? Hello? No. Alright. Alright. So we're all set up now. I'm gonna go ahead and move over to... Yes, here we are. So we're going to go ahead and start the video. Alright, now I'm going to pause it right here. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm going to narrate from the very beginning to the very end. This is one of my intros. This is actually one of my favorite intros. It says, you make a bigger impact than you realize. And I appreciate our friendship. And I just want to tell you right now, I do appreciate our friendship. We have something here that's not very common in the real world, to where people can come together, be polite to each other, and share an experience and share common knowledge or knowledge that people might not have. And so this right here is an actual true statement from myself. I put it on there for a reason. It's because I do appreciate our friendship. There's other places you could be tonight, but you're sitting right here, and I appreciate that. So we open up with the rabbits, and the whole video is silent, but this is kind of like, hey, this is what's going on in the homestead. This is what we have right now. So we have rabbits, of course. It's cute because you see the little rabbit yawn there. Isn't that funny? I was not expecting that. But you see how they're doubled up. They're going to be singled up now once we get the cages finished, to where those are two males. In about a month or so, they're going to start fighting each other. And so we got to get them separated. Next cue is the quails. Again, we got eggs from the quails. They're super happy to be outside and in the open now. They got their own space. They got a nice little heat lamp there to keep them warm at night. And I count so far 4 male quails. There's the chickens. We just recently enclosed them into the space. We do let them free range on the weekends. But this is just to keep the chicken poo out from our back porch and other places. Just tired of walking on it. This is a picture of a little sapling that's starting to grow leaves. It's showing that that spring is in the air and it's starting right now. And gonna pause here. So here is my greenhouse, and show you exactly what's going to happen here. Alright, so this is Grizzly. Grizzly is our recent dog that just recently passed away last month. We decided to dedicate our new greenhouse that we just started using and just finished to Grizzly. And so from this day forward, it's called the Grizzly Greenhouse. We have a feeling that he's going to stick around for a while, and why not give him a space to take care of? And so it'll keep him in our memories and in our hearts, but at the same time, his name moves on with a purpose, and that is as the Grizzly Greenhouse. And for those of you who have not seen a picture of Grizzly, I will post that now and show you exactly what it looks like. That's Grizzly right there. Great dog. We had him for a while, and he ended up eating Gorilla Glue, which caused it to expand in his stomach, and to the point to where it was going to kill him. So we had him put down before he got to the point. So we did have a weekend with him before he passed on. Well, let me take that slideshow down. We'll continue on with the video. Alright, so here I am in the front yard. I got Grow Right soil from Lowe's. And here's the reason why I shop at Lowe's, folks. The reason why I shop at Lowe's is that's a 3 square foot bag of soil. And they've always got great reviews, the Grow Right brand. That particular 3 square foot bag of soil was a little over $7. But with Lowe's, if you're military, prior military, civil service, or anything like that, and you could prove it, every purchase you make at Lowe's is 10% off. I'm not plugging Lowe's. I'm plugging Lowe's because I enjoy them and because they are veteran polite. And so the reason why I have soil on my land is because you can see around me, I've got nothing but sand and pine needles around me, and our soil is not good for growing. And after 8 years of trying, this year will be different, and it will be successful. You can see I have headphones on. I'm jamming out to some music. I had no intention of making any words or any to talk about anything in this video, because simply having the time to yourself to be able to do this in the quiet is loud enough to me, I guess. You ever heard the term silence is deafening? It's a statement of, hey, I'm working, I'm enjoying nature. I'm doing what I should be as a human being and not sitting behind a desk all day. And so all those bags are compressed. They have to be decompressed before they can be put into a vassal. And so what I have as a vassal, and I'll be coming up here in a second, are grow bags. You'll display on what the grow bag looks like. Pause that right here and show you guys exactly what I bought. And so if you guys have followed along with me, you want to know what I bought, how I bought it, where I bought it, so on and so forth, I'll show you exactly where it's at. Uh, Judy Bond says that's why it's called the Sandhills. Yes, that is true. C. Dean, are you going to do any container garden breakaway? Very good question. Yes. You'll see exactly what I'm doing here in a second. Sub says my friend bought siding for their two-story house and they honored the military discount. Saved them so much money. That's fantastic. Chitzo says in Florida you get a veteran stamp on your driver's license. You can get that here too. And I just when I renewed, I just did it online, so I didn't get that stamp on there. Yes, you can. You can also get license plates here stating that you're a veteran. Chile expat family says we are planting the greenhouse for the winter now. You must be in the southern hemisphere, if that's the case, or you're going into the winter. Technically, we are still in winter, and we have another month or so, but we're really going into the spring here. So you must be going into the southern hemisphere to be going into winter. So Lowe's is way more veteran friendly. I agree. If you go to a Home Depot, you have to prove it. With Lowe's, you just type in a couple digits on your login, and when you get your My Lowe's card, that discount's automatically in there. So they scan your My Lowe's card, and you get that 10% discount automatically. And then usually the person behind the register will actually thank you for your service. And I've had very bad experiences at Home Depot, where you have to bring your DD-214 in and prove 100% without a doubt. I'm showing a stranger that doesn't speak English my DD-214. That's a private document. It's not going to work. So I hardly ever go to Home Depot. I only go there if I have to. But they have more stuff than Lowe's. I don't know how to say it. So Chili Expat family said rich, dark loam, and I am very envious. You know, Doc Ferris, he lives further north than I do in the next state up, and his soil is to die for. I would give I would give up a lot to have the soil he's got, and his fields are so nice. And I guess the only way I can really do that is to move up there, but it's still on the drawing board. So we're going to go ahead and continue on. So let's push up exactly what I got. Okay, guys, this is the Boho Farm 7-gallon 8-pack grow bags. These are 11 by 11 inches. I could not find 12 by 12 inch bags. Now I could, but they were expensive. If I go to 12 by 12 inch bags, you're going to find that they're going to be $25 and up, and only 6 bags per shot. This one has 8 bags, and that's the reason why. Actually, that's not just the reason why. So let me show you what I mean. 12 by 12 square grow bags. There are really only 2 options. So you had the Eco Gardener, and this was a square. And then here's the deal: when you put soil in these, they don't stay square. They go round on you, because the bags I have are round, and they are set square just like this. So you had that, currently unavailable for some reason. And then the cube. I don't know if they've got the other one on there. Cube. Square foot cube. See, I can't even. Square. This thing is kind of slow tonight. Right here. And they had a cube. That's $30 for a 7-piece kit. which isn't horrible either. But I wrote both the Cube and the Eco Gardener sites and asked them both, say, hey, I got a new greenhouse going up. Would you like me to promote your product? No charge. Just send me the bags and I will promote your product. And then do a little comparison. And the winner gets to, get bragging rights on YouTube. Neither of the companies called me back or emailed me back or anything like that. So I decided not to go with them and went with these other grow bags. And I'll go back to that. The Boho Farm 7-gallon 5-pack. Now, the fabric on here, it doesn't look like the fabric's very thick. The fabric is pretty thick on it, and it'll last 2 or 3 seasons, I'm going to guess, at least, before those stitches give out. But the reason why I like these is because they have handles on them, and they are mobile. And so, yes, it's a raised garden, in its own little spot. I can square foot garden inside this almost 12 by 12 little plot. If the plants need to have a higher acidity or a higher pH, a lower acidity, if the soil inside the bag needs to be adjusted in any way, I could take the soil out of that one bag and adjust it for the plant. And so no matter what you do, as long as you're testing your soil to your plants, you can change the makeup of the soil for the plant that's inside that particular bag. And so another good thing about fabric bags is the way plants grow inside them. Plants will grow down through the middle, and the roots will grow out. Now, if it's in a plastic container, the roots will hit the end of the plastic container, the outside of the plastic container, and they'll spiral around all the way down to the bottom. And that's usually when you pull it up, you got that big white mat of roots at the bottom. And you'll get this with trees, and sometimes you have to untangle the root ball because it's in a round pattern. So what this does in a fabric bag is it allows oxygen to come inside. So your plant gets more oxygen. And has space for the roots to come out. When the roots hit the outside, the rim of that fabric, what happens is they'll try to poke through. And when they poke through, they are exposed to the sunlight and the air, and the bag naturally prunes that root back, and so it stays out. And if you put bags side by side and they're close enough together or touching each other, those roots can actually go to the next bag. And so if you're doing a whole bunch of plants that need to come together, you can actually plant them together if you don't plan to move them. I do not suggest putting a bag of mint on another bag, because that mint will take over and grow through just like a regular above ground bag. But let's continue on with the video. Let's see if there's any questions first. Plant markers, ID tags. There are plant markers and ID tags with this. They come with 8 markers with it, which help out. Can you spell the company name? Company name is Amazon. Boho Farm. BOHOFARM. 7-gallon 8-pack grow bags. When we post this video, or after it comes off and it reposts, I'll place the links to this video, the links to this bag on the channel, on the video. So I'm checking out the comments here before we go on. So Anita, I almost mentioned that, but didn't know if she was still making them. And apparently Anita said somebody was making grow bags. I'm not sure. You can make these. It's not hard. I'm lazy. So Anita says, sub, I know she said she would if anyone wanted any. She's using those for gardening at Tanya's since she can't do a regular garden area. She must be talking about Kitty. So the cost of this item here is, it was $18.99 for 8 bags. And so that's not bad. It's not a bad cost at all. It's actually the cheapest you could find out there because I did a lot of research as far as Amazon goes. You might find them cheaper elsewhere, but not at this quality. You can use $1 tree bags. You can do whatever you want. I just prefer this method right here because they're sturdy and they're movable. Moving 7 gallons of dirt, it's not a easy task because it's very very heavy, and I want them to be able to maintain themselves. And so let's go on back to the video. So here I am. I'm putting dirt inside the fabric bag for the bottom portion to keep the bag from closing in on itself when I put dirt inside of it. And I'm taking my time. Folks, gardening does not need to be quick. I didn't have the kid. I got off work early. I had the day to myself. It's the first time the sun's been out in several, days. And I'm digging it. I got my headphones on. I'm jamming out. I am in my zone. And there's nothing better than homesteading. This is homesteading right here. To do with your spare time, especially when you get time by yourself. But I'm getting some stuff done, and I'm enjoying myself. And into the portable wagon. Folks, let me tell you, a portable wagon is probably one of the best tools you can have. It can hold a lot and folds down to nothing. The point of this particular part is to tell you guys not to break your backs. You don't have to break your back to get what you want in life. You just got to think smart about things. Sometimes there are some back-breaking things you have to do, but if you can use your noggin, it's the best tool you have is the head in between your shoulders. Just take your time, think smart, and use the tools that are available to you. So off I go, heading towards the greenhouse, which is in the backyard. And we sold that truck, by the way. Jason, sorry. Pepe's gone. There you are in the backyard. A little wheel squeak. Alright, so this is the last part of the video. It's actually going to end here. And as you can see, I squared it up to the other bags. They're all ready to go. You can see the ground has gravel on it, and it goes through a weed barrier, so I can water those as much as I want. It'll go through the bag, through the ground. No moisture up in the air, as if it were an enclosed space. So we put the bag down, and then we place this container on top of it. Now, some people would say, hey, you have to have that in a certain location, whatnot. When you have a greenhouse, you can control your environment. There's a heater inside there that has a thermostat at 70 degrees. And I have an automatic window opener, an automatic vent on that greenhouse that opens at 72 degrees. And so anytime it gets above 70 degrees inside that greenhouse, the vent will open and release the heat. And so we're maintaining an environment of 70 degrees at all times. Is the heat on all the time? No, it's not. When it hits above 70, the thermostat cuts off and it heats naturally. And so this is more for the evening time, but when you're planting seeds, you're going to want to have a temperature between 70 and, I want to say 85 degrees. I can't remember what it was, 85 or 90, for your seedlings to be in. And so I placed the seedling, or the little container where I'm going to place the seedlings, right there, because they don't need to go anyplace else. The environment's controlled. Those bags will sit in there for another day and get climate controlled and be at 70 degrees. And so when those seedlings get put in there and I water them, all it's going to do is go through that and go into the container below it, and it's going to, prepare that soil for planting. So another thing about greenhouses and controlling the environment is that you have total control of what's going on. I've got several other plants inside there ready for spring, and plants that are already been planted. I grew blueberry bushes when we first set this up indoors and put them inside here, and I planted those on the same day. I planted blueberry bushes in front of the house. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell as far as getting ready for planting, getting ready for spring, is if you can control the environment or have a space. And you could do this in a window as well, to take control and plant your own seedlings. Now, word of advice for those people who are just starting out this year: don't even bother. Go to Walmart, go to Lowe's, go to any hardware store where they're selling plants already. Bonnie plants are already out. Use those, plant those. That's going to get you ahead. And what I'm doing now is planting to be ahead. So 3-4 weeks down the road, these can all be planted. And the advantage here is they'll get planted in the bags, they'll continue to grow, and when it gets warm enough outside to bring them out, I can rotate these out. I can plant more plants in a new planter and place that there, take the old one out that's already got plants in it, and put it outside because it's already warm enough. They're already hardened off because they're not in a they're not in a indoor space that doesn't have a whole lot of light. So the plants will harden up as they grow. And so I can move that. If I'm an elderly person or a handicapped person, I could put these on a stand and stand straight up, not have to bend over at all. I've got weed control there. There's no weeds in it. It's a sterile mix. And so any weeds pop up, I can pluck them as they come in, and I don't have to worry about it. So I'll finish up the video real quick. Spring is here. Break away. All right. What else do I have on my display capture here real quick? Amazon. pull up a couple other things. Oh, these are the egg scissors I got. I have them right here. I showed them to you earlier. They're called ADECCO, Adeco LLC Pigeon Quail Egg Cutter Scissors. And they go for a 2-pack for $8. That's pretty cheap. What else do I got? This is the clover I bought. Now, I'll tell you, this is white clover. It was a 5-pound bag for $25. Really is not that horrible of a price. Usually you can get, depending on where you go, these are nitrogen covered. They got a powdered nitrogen covered seed, which helps it grow faster, germinate faster. But usually the clover seed will run about $3 a pound. And so this isn't a horrible price for $5. But I found the same 5-pound bag at Tractor Supply for about $3 less. So don't buy it from Amazon unless you want it delivered to your house. I mean, it's easy. Or you can go over to Tractor Supply and find this in the grass growing section where all the grass seeds are at, for about $22-ish, $23-ish dollars. And so I'll place the links up to that once we post this video onto this video. So display captures off. I need to go back to the middle and check out what's going on the chatter chat. Food Forest Permaculture, Steve, welcome. So MBG wanted to know about drainage. Those bags are made of a so if you ever get the weed stopper, it's a thicker version of the weed stopper, or possibly you could say it's made of felt, and felt will drain quite easily, quite well. And so those can drain. There's no issue with drainage. Can they fill up and overflow? Depends on how fast your water is, but I think it'll drain too quickly before you'd have to worry about that. So I've thought about trying those bags. Christy Betts. I need a G. Probably the fabric used. Yep, sturdy and will hold well. I think the stitches of the bag, the string that's holding the bag together, will probably fail before the felt of the bag will. Do I have to add a layer of lime to mine? No, I don't, because this is already pre-treated with fertilizer. So what am I going to plant? What am I not going to plant? I think that's the question. I looked at it away, so I started out with 16 grow bags, but I also have a hugelkultur bed on the outside of my greenhouse as well. And so I looked and I thought about what are the things a homesteader or a survivalist would need to grow first, have the most calories, and have the most viability for food use. And the biggest thing was beans. Growing beans is the quickest way to get your protein and calories in. LB, stop. And corn was on the list, and some other things, but beans were the biggest thing. Okra has a huge ton of starch inside of it, and but I took over Cyber Monday last October. Seeds now had a huge 50% off sale. So I took advantage of that by buying a whole bunch of seed sampler packets. And what I'm doing is I'm going to place those seed packets. I'm going to grow them. I'm going to plant them. I'm going to grow them to propagate more seeds. I'm going to propagate my own seeds, so I don't have to buy seeds anymore. And so I can return them back to that seed packet that I originally bought that only had a few seeds in it, but it will hold more. And so that's one thing about um, seeds now. They come from California. It may take some time for you to get your seeds, but it's all organic and they're all open pollinated seeds. That means you can grow them and collect the seed from them, and nobody's gonna sue you for them saying it's their seed, like Monsanto. But uh, I bought a vault, and I probably bought 60 or 70 individual packets of seeds. I bought a lot of tomatoes, vegetables, and a crap ton of herbs, which I'd like to get an herb garden going this year. Oh. Christy Betts says I need to plant potatoes. Potatoes are a good thing. I'm going to do a potato box this year. See if that works out. It's like a 50-50, and that's a box that you add layers to as the plant grows up, and then at the end of the year you open it all up and all the potatoes fall out. But a lot of people fail at that because they fail to leave oxygen uh, viability or availability to the soil so the potatoes can and grow and have oxygen to grow. So in space, so it all condenses down, and potatoes are too it's too dense to have potatoes grow. Chrissy Betts said she has kittens. They wrecked her indoor plants. I'm sorry. And yeah, it is a cool thing, Anita. She said pretty cool. You can basically grow year round, and that's another thing I was talking to Brad from Full Spectrum Survival about. He's mentioned it before, but we can grow all year round because it's a controlled environment. And during the winter time, I might have to get a couple of grow lights to substitute the angle of the sun. Uh, but we should be good to go. And whether it's heating up or cooling down the earth, whatever cycle it's going through, the weather's changing constantly. And I want to have the availability to grow things in an environment that's viable for them. And a greenhouse is the best way to do it. This is one big beta project. It's one big project to see what works, what doesn't work. That's why we got the small greenhouse instead of the big greenhouse. And we'll see what happens. And Chip pulled in that big point. Sorry, I lost my place. Chip said Clemson okra prefers soil 85 degrees, soil at 85 degrees. That's true. And as it heats up inside the greenhouse, once it gets 70, that vent opens up, but it still remains warmer inside that. It's just going to prevent it from getting too hot inside the greenhouse. So that will come up. I did plant Clemson um, uh, okra. Judy Bond says she loves blueberries. Dreyfus is out. Good night, Dreyfus. Heated greenhouses with a rocket stove is awesome. Yep. It's like Mollison. I can't remember the guy's name who's the big rocket stove man. Chip Signals pointed out right. Where's the global warming, Christy? Question mark, question mark. Laugh out loud. There's a few books out there about global cooling and the phases of the sun and the phases of the earth. And a lot of people think we're going to a global cooling. Personally, my personal opinion is yes, we are. And that's the reason why the weather's so chaotic. But that's my personal opinion. Steve from Food Forest Permaculture said had 42 inches of snow 2 weeks ago in 12 hours, and we never seen any more than 2, maybe 3 inches a year. That's very interesting. Chip Signal says, quail, check your county website. My last county, they had to be 100 feet away from the structure, road, well, house, or whatever. That must be due to droppings or your water system. My backyard has the leaching field, and it's all completely sand. And we shock our well system, which is 200 feet in front of our house. Yearly to ensure that nothing grows inside of it. So Sub says crimson clover is beautiful and grows wild on the roadside here. Crimson clover is beautiful, and people have really knocked the use of their yard away. If you can, I mean, you imagine your front yard. You don't Clover doesn't grow any more than 2 feet. 18 inches, I think, is its max height, and just a beautiful lush bed of green. And it's a legume. It's considered a legume, and it's a cover crop. And what it's doing is pulling nitrogen from the air and putting it in your soil. You don't like it? Just till it into the soil. It'll rot. It'll go into that soil, create new media for it, and it's a natural way to bring your soil back to life, or even create better soil when your soil's crappy. Christy Beth says I have a lot of white clover here. Made some clover jelly last year. That's interesting. Wink, wink. My address is below. I will be happy to do a review on your clover jelly. All right, Judy Bond for the bees. Good for the bees. Yep, definitely good for the bees. Doc Ferris had six hives last time I checked on him. The hives were doing well. That was before winter hit. So MBG said the way of planting is really interesting. It doesn't have to be hard. It's simple. I plant inside the pots on top of where they're going to be planted. Those plants go into the pots or into the containers, and then they grow. They get too big on the inside of the greenhouse, or it comes to a point where it's too hot outside for them to be inside there. So they go outside. New plants go in. They like the heat. Cycle goes on and on. Food Forest says need sleep, much love and respect. Have a good night. Laugh out loud at C. Dean. I know that. Haha, just asking why he likes it. Doc Ferris says night. Yeah, apparently he's had enough for tonight. Subs Judy Bond says, I bet it's pretty, just don't like that clover taste. Suburban Hillbilly, Judy Bond. It's a local honey, I'll eat it. Oh, clover honey is very nice. Most honey is clover honey, unless it's almond honey from almond trees. Judy Bond says she gets her honey at Walmart, but it's from the mountains right up the road for me. You are getting close. That must be that mountain honey. I can't remember the name of it. Comes in a mason jar. My Myers lemon tree smells great, and the bees seem to love it. Meyer, they do smell good. They give out an aroma, even though if they're not growing lemons, they give out a citrus aroma. And my dog's getting restless, and she needs to go outside here in a minute. So how long does it take for clover to be safe if an area was treated for weeds the year before? It's a good question. It really all depends on what kind of runoff you have. Best guess to do is to buy some and try it out, see if it works. Depends on what chemicals were there. I will have to till under when I get my first bees. Okay. And then Andrea Benj says 3 years. Dad on YouTube, welcome. Sorry we're about to finish up here. Mountain Ridge, yes ma'am. I used to do that myself. And Mountain Ridge honey is really good. It comes in a mason jar. It's really inexpensive for what it is, and it's very dark. It's good. It's good honey, but it's local. I get my honey from a guy at work who keeps hives. That's cool. And then Chip Signal says, most honey is fake. Check out the Ruin series on Netflix. The very first of that series is fake honey. And the import of honey from China, then the killing of honey with rice. It's like a rice syrup that they put in honey, and you can't tell the difference between honey and rice syrup. So when they do a refractometer to see what the viscosity of the honey, they can't tell the difference. So the United States banned honey coming from China. So what did China do? Started selling the same stuff to Hong Kong, or not Hong Kong, Hong Kong's in China, to Taiwan, and then they ship it from Taiwan to the States. So China honey is still getting to the States. The fact is only about 40% of the honey out there, 40 to 60%, I can't remember what the number is real honey. Wrap your mind around that. There's not enough honey produced in the world to maintain the consumption of honey. It's like chocolate. Chocolate's eventually going to run out, just like honey is going to run out, because the consumption rate has gone up. So that's it for me tonight, guys. I'm going to head out here. I got to take my dog out. She's really begging to go out before she pees or poops on my floor, because she's getting restless. But next week, next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Megan's going to be on the channel. We're going to talk all about what you need to do to properly spring clean. It's going to be probably going to be a long one, because there are a lot of details that people sometimes don't look into when you're doing a deep cleaning, and that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be a deep cleaning. That's from the overhead or the ceiling down to the deck. That's the floor, Navy terms. The walls are bulkheads, and then everything from the top to the bottom. You start from the top, you go down to the bottom. We'll go step by step. We'll do some demonstrations on some cleaners that we use here at the house, and then we'll give some product recommendations. Everything we have on this show, these products, whatnot, we're not making money off of them. We're suggesting them to you so you can make a decision on what's best and what we use. And we want what's best for you. So we're not making anything off of it, I promise. So that is it for me tonight. I'm going to head out. I'm going to go check on my wife, and I'm probably going to go to bed. So you guys have a great night and a great week. We'll see you next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a good one. And I'm going to wait a second because it takes about 4 to 5 seconds off the end of the video before it stops.